Awesome. So today we're going to be jumping into the standards that we have for ourselves. And standards are the quantifiable ways that we can set ourselves up to achieve a result over a period of time. So it's a number or it's something that we can hold on to that means that we know what's the gold standard, what's the silver standard, and what's the bronze standard. It's giving ourselves sort of like a game with ourselves, how we can show up in a way that we've pre-decided to be able to determine our results.
Mm-hmm.
So for both of you, I'd love you to share with me, what would you like to get out of today's session when talking about standards?
So you basically, in your intro, you said to set a bar to know whether we gold, silver, or bronze standard in our responses or in our behavior.
So what would you like to get out of today in regards to standards?
I'd like to always be gold standard.
Or
But
potentially is it understanding your standards?
yeah, and I think I fail a lot because I have higher expectations than I probably can achieve. Which, yeah, I don't know. I'm all or nothing sometimes.
So potentially for you, that gold, silver, and bronze will give you a little bit more acceptance and understanding. Okay, so what would be great for you to take away from today, Manu?
No strategies to be consistently gold.
Is that really true?
Well, I'm trying to be better, and I think I'm hoping that this course or this thing is going to make me better. So having skills and strategies to be able to be better or act better is probably my ultimate goal out of these series. Yeah,
so strategies to take action. Okay, awesome. And what about you, Carlo?
So the whole thing with the gold, silver, bronze standard, it still feels very, well, that part to me is quite foreign. Applying that to what I want to see, I'm more thinking of just reflecting on, yeah, if I basically judge, if I say good job well done or job well done within those categories, yeah, what are my criteria? Am I looking holistically?
Okay, so being able to understand your standards and whether you're judging them.
That's right. Yeah, maybe reflect on the standards, which I guess I have to a degree already.
Okay. And what, for both of you, what challenges do you have in maintaining your own standards?
Discipline.
Yeah.
Understanding what my standards are.
So it's being able to set them probably make a difference there.
Hmm.
What else?
Can you repeat the question again? Like, what
What challenges do you have
the challenges we have with
maintaining your own standards?
Focus.
Mm,
Focus.
totally, because if we have a standard for ourselves and we're able to focus on a number, a metric, something that's going to give us an understanding of what we've pre-decided, that's going to help us with our focus, right?
Mm. Yeah.
What about you, Carlo? Any challenges you can think of?
Well, initially I thought just simple planning. If I feel like in a lot of things I have a relatively good drive, so if I stumble, I haven't planned well for it. Or if I feel like I'm not doing it up to standard, but yeah, more just reflecting where am I giving myself an A+, and maybe also where I'm not looking too close.
Okay, awesome, guys. So what I'm hearing from that is reflecting, being able to understand what standards we're setting for ourselves. Also, those strategies around the discipline and being able to be true to what we say we're going to do. And then setting the standards, and then also having the focus to be able to keep them in mind so that we can achieve them. So for both of you, how would you like the situation to be? In the ideal world, how would you like to set standards for yourselves?
Like just to do it and then it's done, sort of thing.
So tell me more specifically, what do you mean?
Oh, like I know all the things I need to do,
Mm.
but I don't do them. And then I'm in this situation. Yeah. Like getting up in the morning, going for a run, eating well, and all of those things, like the amount of to-do lists or the things I want to achieve this year, or the all of those things. Like it is ridiculous that I don't do what I say.
So how would you like it to be instead, Manu?
Yeah, the opposite of that. I would do what I say.
So
I
be
think.
able,
Beg your pardon?
so to be able to take action on what you say you're going to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I do a lot, but I think it is because I've gotten into this, used to having this life of reacting as opposed to, predetermining, I suppose.
Mm. Yeah, and it's a really normal place to be because you've been in this loop of being tired, putting these standards on yourself, needing to achieve, being overwhelmed, and then you're making reactory decisions. So potentially what I'm hearing from that is slowing down to be able to choose your response.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Carlo? what would be the ideal situation for you? What would you like to understand, or what's important to you about creating standards?
Well, first of all, I want to know where do I want to set standards and what areas. Yeah, as I say, it's a bit foreign and quite rigid. I mean, of course, I want to have a standard and aspects that I'm thinking of, you know, how do you set standards in relationships, or it does not feel like quite adequate. I mean, of course, you can have a feel looking at it, but yeah.
So what I'm hearing from that is the word standard potentially to you doesn't feel like you can create it in all areas.
Yes. Yeah. There's some sort of rigidness there, and putting everything onto the scales. Yeah, it feels in certain areas it just don't need to get marks on that all the time.
So potentially where to set them, but also maybe standard isn't the right word for you. Maybe
it's just the word. Yeah.
Maybe it's something that you've got a resistance to because it's too structured.
Yeah, exactly.
Something like a mini goal, or a gold star, or what else could you use for your word for standard?
Being on the right path.
Nice.
That's
Direction.
Yeah, the right direction. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so a direction marker.
Yeah, direction marker, as well as maybe how easy the path is, how fast you're going on it. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, let's call it a direction marker then.
Okay.
So for you, Manu, and for you, Carlo, to get to that place where you do what you say you're going to do and respond, and for you, Carlo, to be able to put those direction markers in place, what do you need to let go of?
Maybe a bit of I need to trust people a bit more. I don't really I need to build a team, but I don't really trust anybody. So maybe some ego as well. Yeah, I'm thinking.
Not 100% sure if it fits, but what comes up in me is fear of getting hurt.
Tell me more about that, Carlo.
It's just a pattern I see that yeah, and a few things that holds me back.
Okay, thank you for sharing.
Yeah, I've got fear as well. Fear of failure.
And where did you learn to develop this fear, both of you?
Experience.
Yeah, probably quite early experience.
Mm.
Right.
So for you to be able to let that fear go, what needs to shift within you both?
Trust.
It's a big one, eh?
Yeah.
Experience. You're less likely to fail if you know what's going to happen, or sort of,
Is that really true?
or, well, if you know what's going to happen. Well, I think just having all the knowledge that you need can help in making decisions. But
So-
there wouldn't be a final answer.
So being able to get better at making good decisions, trusting yourself to make better decisions. Okay. And to be able to trust yourself to make better decisions, what belief do you need to have about yourself?
That you're worthy, that you're able to make those decisions, that you trust yourself to make those decisions.
Totally. So I'm really curious. So that fear of getting hurt and that fear of failure, these were beliefs that we have created about ourselves based on our experience or based on our upbringing. So when we understand that these fears exist within us, what do we need to accept within ourselves to be able to move forward?
I guess that we're more than those fears, or we can develop beyond those.
You guess that, or you know that?
You know that's the answer.
Yeah, it's more like it's obvious. That's where the change lies. If you're not held back by those fears. So do I know it? Don't know exactly where to place that versus guessing it.
So be knowing that you are more than your fears.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yep.
Okay. And for Manu, it's feeling worthy to be able to trust others.
And my fears.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, I've always done that. Feel the fear and do it anyway. But it's not really trusting others. I've just been let down too many times, I think, and I do need to trust others, but I also need to trust myself to make those good decisions, to get those good people if I do have good people, but also to do, not to do it all by myself, but to do what I need to do by myself anyway.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Totally. So being able to do what you need to do and trusting yourself to do those things, and then building that trust within yourself that you can then extend to others.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So now we understand that the standard is not just the standard, but the standard is based on underlying fears of why we don't take action, or potentially why we set the standard so high and then fall short of ourselves. And that potentially, and correct me if I'm wrong, is coming from feeling unworthy.
The setting of the standard too high. Yeah, could definitely see a connection there.
Yeah. And when we are younger, we have to keep ourselves small. We have to hold others' opinions and also ourselves at fault and take care of the needs of our parents. And so we're constantly blaming ourselves for things that go wrong, because that's how we get love, is we make it mean that we're not good enough, that we're not worthy. And when we're going into adulthood and we learn to meet our own needs and not make it mean that, if you don't hit your standard, not make it mean that it's failure, but learn from it, that's when we are able to start growing really fast, because we're not self-deprecating when we have a standard for ourselves and we let ourselves down. We just use it as feedback.
Yep.
And the same thing with the fear of getting hurt. When we're younger, there's a fear of getting hurt because we have to protect ourselves. And when we're older, we have built trust with ourselves, but our psychology hasn't caught up. We know that we can handle the rejection. Emotionally, you've learned how to process now that you're an adult, but your mind is still telling you that there's a fear of being hurt because it's still stuck in the idea that you can't handle it like you couldn't when you were a kid.
Yeah.
So what are you taking away from that?
I'm wondering how to avoid doing that with my children.
It's inevitable. You have to allow them to do the journey. It's how they learn.
What comes up for me is just need constant reminders, or almost some training to hear that message again and again, to that I won't be fundamentally hurt by being braver, being more exposed, being more myself.
Absolutely.
That is funny, because I'm not I don't think of myself as somebody who really cares about what other people think, but it is a fear to not progress. So,
So knowing what we've just talked about and knowing what your goals are for this program, what are some areas that you can set some standards around that are going to help you to have that direction marker of moving towards that goal?
what was the question? What sort of
areas, based on the goals that you have for this program and what you know that you want to achieve, what kind of standards in what areas do you need to set standards?
in all the areas? In my health, in my job, in my home life, in my family.
And if they were a direction marker, so you have an understanding of what's going to bring you forward, what would be the gold and silver and bronze that you can set yourself in those areas? So, for example, for me, I have a gold standard around how many people I reach out to in my business every week. And I just have a number 10. Sometimes I hit 7, sometimes I do 12. But I know that the 10 is just the standard I have there for myself. I have another standard for myself around doing my washing on the weekend. And I just have that as, it's something that I decided consciously was going to help me in my day. So you've got to create something where you've got an idea now consciously of what's going to move you forward.
I have certain standards, like go for a walk. If I do exercise, 1 hour of exercise every day, that is a pretty gold standard for me. Like, it's something that I'm quite happy that I've achieved. But then even maybe bronze might be just, I walk around the block or something lower. If that's what you mean.
Yeah, exactly. And what will it give you by having this gold, silver, and bronze?
Well, I tend to feel like I don't achieve anything. So even if I achieved a week of bronzes, that's better than nothing, or maybe one or silver or something.
Totally.
Yeah.
So little wins.
Little wins. I love that. I remember I always used to do yoga for like 45 minutes in the morning. And if I didn't have 45 minutes, I wouldn't do it. And then I stayed with a friend of mine and she just did yoga for like 15 minutes in the morning. And I thought, oh, why haven't I been doing this? 15 minutes is way better than 0 minutes. And that gave me permission to do it for less time, but more consistently.
Yeah.
What about you, Carlo? What areas can you set some direction markers for yourself to move closer towards your goal?
I was definitely thinking around exercise as well. Maybe going for a run So could say twice a week for gold standard, once for silver. Had a different idea before. Still,
Bronze is a walk.
yes, yeah, maybe bronze standard is doing something in the gut.
Nice. And what? And
Just yeah, exercise is definitely helpful for structure and anything really there.
okay. So both of you have some little gold, silver, and bronze markers for yourselves around health and exercise. And what strategies can you use to be able to focus on those more? How can you bring that into your awareness? For example, setting an alarm on your phone or putting a sticky note on the back of your kitchen door. What's going to bring that into your awareness more? Or even a star chart. Let's go old school. What's going to bring it into your focus?
Probably put it on an alarm.
Probably or definitely?
Definitely. You know, I could have put it on the fridge. You can put it at the front door. Put it on my bedroom door. But yeah, put an alarm on. Bit hard because it's freezing at the moment down in Chicago.
And imagine
Mm,
you've got a good puffer jacket.
no. I gave it away, which was a silly idea. Yeah, I do need another one this year.
Okay. So would that be something that you could commit to helping you achieve this standard, is getting your clothing sussed?
Hmm. Yeah.
Would you like me to hold you accountable to that next week?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Manu needs puffer jacket.
Mm.
What about you, Carlo? What's an easy way for you to be able to achieve this new benchmark?
Yeah, quite often the alarm works on the phone, although in previous sessions I talked about Sunday evening to look through and find something social, and yeah, didn't hear the alarm on Sunday evening. Was obviously not set to the, well, I disconnected from the phone and was quite easy on myself there. And so since I tried to catch up on that topic a little bit, but yeah, I could definitely do the exercise one with a prompt as well. Yeah,
You know,
it's not quite as easy. I mean, there's different triggers why you want to do it, and you know, sometimes you just look outside and go, this is the perfect time. But yeah, there's definitely the Sunday evening one, as well as the exercise one that I can do with a phone reminder.
Okay. Maybe you need a phone reminder and a backup.
Yeah, might need that backup as well. Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Anything else stopping you from being able to take action on this gold standard?
So you're asking for more things that could hold us.
Hold us back from doing
Yeah.
it.
Just the same old me. Just my own excuses.
So what can you tell yourself, Manu, when you notice you're giving excuses like the cold?
Mm. um, just do it.
I believe you said that last time, and I think we need
Yeah.
to get something that resonates more with you.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of something that is actually effective.
What about I'm teaching my kids to care?
Hmm. Yeah. Thinking more. Danny's going to ask me about this next week, so I'll better.
I'm going to kick your ass.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
What's going to really resonate with you? Because I'm not that scary.
No, well, accountability can be, but yeah, showing my kids I care. That's important to me.
Okay. And Danny check-in.
Hmm.
Okay. So if you're both open to it, what we're going to do now is an exercise that's going to connect you with the child in you that is holding you back from being able to meet the behavior that you seek. Because on every level, that's where that fear comes from. And that's what's stopping you from taking action. And this can be a little bit challenging, but it's really important to remember that we have a fragmented psychology. We have the little part of us that's the younger self, and then we have an adult part of us which knows that we can handle it. But that little self is so strong within us because it needs to keep us safe. And that protection mechanism is not helping us to be able to achieve what we want to achieve because of the fear.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're going to do in a minute is close down our eyes, and I'm going to take you on a visual journey of being able to connect with yourself and potentially create some shifts so that you can start to be true to what you set yourselves intend to do. Are you both on board with that?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. So when you're ready, go ahead and close down your eyes. So just notice your breath going in and out of your body and just start to come into the present moment. What I want you to do is I want you to go into the first house that you remember when you were younger. And I want you to find younger you wherever you were in your house. When you found younger you, just take a moment to connect. To know that younger you desperately wants to connect with you. And I want you to ask younger you, what are you protecting me from? And when you have your answer, just be still and notice your breath going in and out. And I want you to play a video in your mind of all of the amazing things that you have done in your life. Just like a cinema that plays the slides one after the other, playing in your mind all of the things that you've done over your lifetime. And I want you to notice what happens to the feeling inside of you once you've done this. And I want you to share with younger you what they need to hear from you to be able to loosen the grip just by 10%. What do they need from you right now? And now, as you are connecting in with younger self, maybe they need a hug. Maybe they just need to know that everything's going to be okay. I want you to think about what is the one word that comes to mind right now. And when you have your word, you can open your eyes. What was your one word?
Gratitude.
What about you, Carlo?
Makes no sense, but it's Nika.
It makes sense.
Well, it makes sense. And where I was, yep.
Beautiful. So this is your anchor word. And when you notice yourself fluctuating or giving yourself excuses, come back to your anchor word.
Mm.
Because that means something to little self, means something to you. So as your homework today, would love you to send me a picture of where you're writing your gold, silver, and bronze standard for yourself. And then when we come back next week, we'll just check in on how what you've been noticing and be able to understand how you're feeling about the standards that you're setting.
Okay.
Key
Sure.
takeaway from today? Each of you?
I've got 2 more meetings tonight.
Busy.
Tuesdays are crazy for me.
What was your key takeaway, guys?
Gratitude.
Okay.
It's because I visualized that.
Nice.
For me, maybe just the rephrasing of the gold, silver, bronze to waypoint marker, or yeah.
Nice. Love that, guys. Well, thank you so much for showing up for yourselves today. And I will see you same place, same time next week.
That's good.
Cool. Thank you.
Welcome, guys. See ya.
Bye.